Hi, Nick here of MedTech World. With me is Julia Elstad with Vibrato. She is a dominant businesswoman, a great background, taking businesses from the start to where?
Well, I've been in medtech for about 20 years, so I worked for small companies and big companies. Some of the companies exited, some are independent with products on the market, and some are still in development, like my current company.
Lovely. Tell me more about the current company.
So, Vibrato Medical is ultrasound as a therapy for vascular disease, specifically for critical limb ischemia. So, in plain English, it's people who do not have good blood flow to their legs, and as a result of that, they get pain and wounds that are painful and don't heal, which ultimately leads to gangrene and amputation. So, we are trying in a non invasive way to prevent all of that and treat these patients.
Great. And I guess to go a little further into technology, how does that work exactly?
So the ultrasound that we use, the parameters, is called therapeutic ultrasound. So it's not diagnostic, it's not ablation, but it's the ultrasound that dilates the vessels and by that improves the blood flow. Also, studies have shown that if it's used for the period of a few weeks, it promotes vessel growth, collateral as well as microvessels. And all of this just improve the perfusion of the lower limb.
How has the journey been to get to market with this technology?
So we are in clinical trials right now. We finished our first study. We are currently doing our second study for critical limb ischemia. So the first study of 12 patients, the results are actually going to be announced in a couple of weeks at Viva, which is one of the major vascular conferences. So far, so good.
Okay. Investors are waiting. And what would be your predictions, if all keeps going good, of when you would achieve market or achieve commercialization?
So we are doing, as I mentioned, our second clinical study right now, which we plan to finish next year, and we're going to be raising our Series B in the second half of next year. We plan to prove the increase in perfusion and oxygenation in the legs. We treat below the knee disease specifically, which is the most challenging for the current technologies that are on the market. And by the way, all the medtech that's on the market right now is invasive for this particular disease and indication. So, yeah, and we closed our Series A about a couple years ago. We have great investors, a venture capital firm and a family office, but gonna continue to grow the investor pool next year.
As technological capabilities increase, it seems to be that non-invasive seems to be the way to go. It seems to be the trend in many ways.
Yes, because if you think, in our company, we always think patient first, right? Patients don't like surgeries. And if you think from healthcare system perspectives, surgeries are expensive, right? Like you need to have a hospital, you need to have a physician and so on. So I think it's very true that, technologies of the future are going to be less invasive. And I think it's good for patients. It's good for healthcare systems as well, particularly in critical limb ischemia, the indication where we are, if you have disease of the leg, you don't like to go to a hospital or clinic. If you can have a treatment at home, patients would prefer that.
Wonderful. How has Malta been to you? How has this event been to you?
It's my first time in Malta, and it's a nice surprise. It's a good little jam in the Mediterranean. We have great experience.
Great. And anything in particular you're looking forward to at the event?
I like in this event, I like the networking opportunities most. It's, you know, Malta is a little bit far away from California where I am. But on the other hand, I just had conversations with a few US investors, and yes, I met them at other conferences in the US, and usually all of us are so busy running around, and here it's a little bit relaxed, and actually, we just had a nice cappuccino a couple hours ago and talked in detail about my company, about their fund, and so on. So, and that's, I think I like that, and also talking to my peer CEOs and have real conversations about things that going well and some challenges that people face.
Great. Well, thanks for sitting down and talking with me, Julia. It's been wonderful. Julia Elstad from Vibrato.
All right, thank you so much.